Hello student, welcome to the one more session of ARM. This is vasanth.nayak from Canara Engineering College. In this session, you will be going to study the various operating modes of ARM. As I told in my previous video, ARM operates totally on 7 different types of modes. That is, one is SVR, that is supervisor, user, system mode, hierarchy mode, FIQ mode, abort mode, and undefined mode. So in this video, I will explain you what are these. I will explain you about different operating modes of SVR. So you know, student, the ARM7 processor on reset of ARM7 processor, it goes through supervisor mode. After that, during the 90% of the lifetime, the processor will be in the user mode. The processor will be in the user mode. So let's first see what is supervisor mode. For that, so you know, like in a computer memory, like this, suppose this is the memory. This memory contains both data and program. So if I write or if I tell like this is a system data and system program, and here we have one more section. This is user data and user program. User program can access user data. System program can access system data. In other way, system program can access user program and user data, but user program cannot access system program and system data. This is a type of a protection mechanism which was implemented long back by Intel. So, system program and system data are protected by supervisor, and user data and user program run by user. So, in the diagram here, on resetting of your ARM7 processor, it will go into supervisor mode. Why it will go into supervisor mode means on resetting of your computer system, we know it will load operating system. It will first run basic input output system. Part of that basic input output system, it will load operating system from secondary memory into the primary memory. Then operating system will get initialized. It will load device drivers, other things, and it will arrange icons. After that, you will get the control like home screen. So till there, your mobile or ARM processor will be in supervisor mode. From that mode, it will move it to user mode, and it will remain, and most of the time, 90% of the time, in user mode only. So, supervisor mode has got high privilege and user mode is a normal mode. So, suppose you imagine you want to execute some system call. That time, your ARM processor will move from user mode into system mode. To move from user mode into system mode, you don't need any interrupt. System mode is a privileged version of user mode where you can execute system call. For example, you are going to rearrange icons on your mobile. So rearrange icons is somewhat a function of system function, rather than it is not a low level function, but it is a system function. So which need some type of privilege, not supervisor privilege. So to execute that thing, your processor will move from user mode to system mode. It will do the necessary task and it will come back to the user mode. Now we have two types of interrupt mode are here. Based on the interrupt, we have two modes are there. One is a IRQ, normal interrupt, other one is a fast interrupt. If the if you receive normal interrupt request call, then from the user mode the processor will go to interrupt request mode and it will come back. It will service the ISR routine and it will come back. If it receives a fast interrupt request, it will go to fast interrupt mode, and it will execute the ISR and it will return to the user mode. We know the difference between what is IRQ and what is FIQ. IRQ is a normal interrupt, FIQ is a fast interrupt, because FIQ makes use of a separate set of registers than IRQ. So in the case of IRQ, when it goes to IRQ mode, or when IRQ interrupt is received, then when it goes to IRQ mode, then ISR has to store the content of the registers in memory or stack before changing the register value in ISR mode. So same thing is not applicable or F1 here in fast interrupt request mode, because fast interrupt request has got its own 5 registers that will be used. So fast interrupt request is faster than IRQ. Now we have two error mode. One is called as abort, other one is called as undefined. Now what do you mean by abort and what do you mean by undefined? So before explaining abort and undefined mode, like error mode, let me explain. Like suppose you want to install certain app on your mobile phone. So actually installing means you are not going to install the app, you are just going to select the app from the app store and hit the install button. Installing is the different process. Installing requires going to the root of the operating system and make the changes. That part is not done by the user. That part is done by the supervisor. So to install app, so from user mode your phone need to go to supervisor mode by calling software interrupter, and it will do the installation, and once the installation is over, from the supervisor mode it will return to the user mode. Next we will move to the next mode, that is abort mode. What is the abort mode? So as I explained, in the memory which contains system data and system program, and system data, user data and user program, you have user data and user program. Suppose you are trying to access system program or system data, then what will happen? So when you as a user, without having the privilege to access the system data and system program, if you access the system, if you make a call to the system program or system data, that time it results in abort mode. This results in abort mode. That means application will be killed and you will be taken into user mode. So there are two types of abort mode, pre-fetch and data. What do you mean by pre-fetch and data? What do you mean by pre-fetch and data? That is, suppose you are going to access a system program, so which you don't have the privilege to access. Then accessing system program means accessing fetching the instruction. Fetching, since it is a pipeline, you are fetching the instruction in advance. So this is called as a pre-fetch abort. And if you are going to access system data, then it is called as data abort. So the meaning of pre-fetch abort is you are going to access system program, and the meaning of data abort is you are going to access the system data for which you don't have the permission or privilege. The next one is undefined mode. So here you don't have the privilege to access the particular function. That time it goes to abort mode. Here the processor does not understand the instruction. That time it goes to undefined mode. For example, inside the mobile phone there will be different processor like main processor, co-processor, math co-processor, graphic processor, etc. So the person who wrote the code, by imagining there will be a math co-processor and assembler has assembled the instruction, but in reality think like there won't be a math co-processor. That time how ARM7 can understand the math co-processor instruction? That time it automatically will go to undefined mode, and it will kill the application. It will go to undefined mode, and from the undefined mode it will go to the user mode. So these are the different type of 7 different type of operating modes. So let me repeat. Initially, you on reset, your ARM processor will be in a supervisor mode. After booting, it will go to the user mode. So if you call system function, it will take you to the system mode. If you have interrupt like getting call, SMS, all these are just like, or tapping on the phone, it is just like interrupt. So if you have normal interrupt, it will take you to IRQ mode. If you have fast interrupt, it will take you into FIQ mode. If you have then if you try to access system data, then it will go to abort mode. In abort, we have pre-patch and data. Otherwise, sometimes it may go to undefined mode. So with this, I have covered 7 different operating modes of ARM. Thank you.